Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Questioning a better way, one gracefully disruptive conversation at a time.
Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila. I'm so excited to be with you here today. We have a very special conversation. We've got a full group today. Usually it's one-on-one or one-on-two, but we've got some really important humans coming in representing some amazing Colorado businesses and charities. And we're going to unpack this incredible Do More charity challenge that I've been a part of since the very beginning. And it's grown exponentially. And there's all kinds of really cool stats around that. So I'm going to share the team that's behind it, and then one of the charities that's been in it from the get-go. I've obviously competed in it from the very beginning, and we're just going to tell you about it. And hopefully there's still time to set up by the time this podcast airs. So I'd love to have athletes or volunteers or anyone that even just wants to come out and watch, come join us. So without further ado, we're going to jump in. But before we do that, we got to give some love to our sponsors, Lux Neuro, offering neurofeedback and counseling where your heart and mind align. For more information about what neurofeedback can do for you, listen to the neurofeedback stories of transformation in the middle of this podcast. Neurofeedback effectively treats everything from insomnia, anxiety, depression, trauma, ADHD, and much more. Visit them at luxneuro.com.
Thank you for joining Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Tune in next time, and don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
The Do More Charity Challenge. I'm going to give you a quick background on it and Community Banks of Colorado that's behind it. We have incredible situations out here in Colorado, which born and raised Colorado kid. I love when it's happening in the hometown. I'm going to give you the quick 411, and then we're going to jump right in to two of our representatives today. Angie Smith, welcome to Turmeric and Tequila. She is from Community Banks of Colorado. And we have got Katie Rubino from Third Way Center. They are doing some incredible work out here in Colorado. She's going to tell us all about her journey and how they've enjoyed being part of Do More from the get-go and how it's benefited their cause. So the Do More Charity Challenge, you can still register today. What is it? It's an incredible challenge of all athletes of all ages, all skill levels that come together to compete for the greater good. We can challenge ourselves to do reps, more squats, touch more lives than we ever have before. This has been going on since 2015. It's basically a CrossFit-based fitness situation. They have raised over $1.7 million for charities across the nation. It's really an incredible cause. One of the pieces from their website, it says, we believe in supporting our communities. We believe in helping people. We believe we can make things better. We believe that together we can do more. Every dollar raised from individual competitors and corporate supporters like you will be serving our local communities. By supporting the Do More Charity Challenge, you are helping celebrate hard work, dedication, perseverance, and commitment to not only to make ourselves better, but to make those around us better. So major things going on. And one of the founding members was Tim Laney and Skip Miller from Front Range. Tim Laney is from Community Banks of Colorado. Quick word on them. Common sense is really not that common. If it were, banks would only sell what you need. Everything would be fair without all of the fine print. And when your banker looked at you, they wouldn't just see a number. They'd see a dad, a mom, a graduate, a business owner. That's why Community Banks of Colorado, we understand the complexities of people's lives and offering simple solutions. We call it banking with common sense, and we invite you to join us. So they are doing it different. And again, they're local. But without further ado, let's jump in. Angie, why don't you give us some of your background and your role at CBC and how you've been involved with the Do More Charity Challenge since the very beginning?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So I actually work for our holding company, which is National Bank Holdings, or NBH Bank. And Community Banks Colorado is one of our affiliates. I believe we're in 8 states now, a regional bank. And I'm so proud to have been part of the Do More Charity Challenge since its inception. I think I might be the only athlete to do all 9 competitions, I think. But it's just a tremendous opportunity for us to come together as a community, to, put some blood, sweat, and tears into fighting for some really impactful charities in our community. And I think I've been competing on behalf of Third Way for quite some time. I'm not sure if it's all 9 years, it might be. But I've actually volunteered there, had a great opportunity to go down and repaint some of the rooms at their Broadway location in downtown Denver, and got to tour all their facilities. And you know what? It's really humbling to me. I do these kind of workouts all the time, but to be able to use them for good, I think is one of the best things that I can do. So I'm really grateful to be a part of this. I'm grateful to be a part of this bank. And I know our CEO, Tim Laney, he used to be heavy into CrossFit. I think he might have had some injuries since, but that was kind of his baby that he started off with 9 years ago, and has kind of handed off the torch to us to continue competing on behalf of the bank. So I'm just really excited to be here.
Awesome. Yes, it's incredible. I cannot believe, from the beginning, it started with a thought from Tim that I know you coupled up with Skip at Front Range, and to see where it grew from that first year to right now, and adding on like a musical performance and some other things. It's been really cool to see it evolve. But the biggest piece is the impact, like you said, and working with the charities. And there's a lot of gray area in the nonprofit world, and you never know how much is fully going back to the cause. So this is really cool that every single dollar that goes in goes back to the charities. And as an athlete and a volunteer, a part of all of it, I can guarantee you there's no wish-wash about it. All the money is absolutely going in. Everyone involved truthfully is a volunteer. So it's a really magical situation. Katie Rubino, why don't you give us a quick background about you personally, and then tell us about Third Way and the incredible organization that you guys have been building over the years, and all the great things that are going on.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. So I am not originally from Colorado. I moved here in 2016, and I've loved it ever since. So I've started in the nonprofit world about 4 years ago. I've been with Third Way Center for about a year and a half, and I love this organization. We were founded back in 1970, so for 54 years, we've been helping kids from 14 to 21 kind of get back on their feet and be productive members of society. I've been to all of our 8 houses. We have 8 houses over 5 locations, and we are grateful for the bank and the Do More Charity Challenge. This will actually be my first time being able to see the event, and get to witness all of the amazing athletes and everything that they're able to do, because I've seen CrossFit back in college, but it is definitely not something that I have personally done. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
I
And
love it.
there was
Katie, there's
yeah.
still time if you want to jump on a team. You can come in.
Okay.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know
telling you,
about that.
I hear you. I mean, with fans, whatever, you can come show up. We've got tons of product coming in, so we'll have like good snacks, good treats. So whatever gets you there, and good humans. There's always good laughs, and like it's always a good energy, even if you're not into the CrossFit situation. I know I have many of non-CrossFit friends, so I very much view as like a cult member for keeping it real, doing the CrossFit thing. But it is what it is. So it's a cult I'm proud to be part of, but totally understand if people are looking, peeping through the wall, being like, WTF. We get it. But this is such a great event. It's super inclusive because it is all levels. We've had people walk in, athletes that have literally never done any sort of CrossFit before and competed. There's an RX level, like a more advanced level, and then more of a beginner's level. So, again, they keep it separate, and they try and, make it open to everybody to come out and compete, because it's really about the charities. If you've done CrossFit, we're out there to compete and work out fast. But really the highlight, and even a scored event, is about raising money for the charities. So each team picks a charity, fundraises, and then they compete on that day. So it's really cool that, you're kind of part of this process for the weeks leading up to it. Angie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience you've actually gone out and volunteered with your charity, but I've played for different charities. I'm now competing this year on one of the bank teams, but tell me about your experience leading up to it. I know we've got, group text messages and workouts planned and all kinds of things that lead up to the event that really facilitate community within the community.
Absolutely. And you said it perfectly, how, I think the word CrossFit, I think by itself intimidates a lot of people, thinking that you have to be this supreme level athlete. And I'll tell you at my gym, I mean, we have a 75-year-old lady who kills it every day. And of course she scales appropriately as she should, but it's really just to make sure that you're functional in your life. And if, and maybe at her age, you fall down, you can get back up, right? And it's just functional movement. And that's really what we mean by that. And so it's really cool to see all levels, really participating in this. And in a traditional CrossFit competition, you have an RX division and a scale division. And we've now called our other division novice, because that even of itself was intimidating to folks going, gosh, I don't know if I can do these movements. And really anybody can. And anybody that, works out even a couple days a week or, walks around the block can really participate in this challenge with this, which is great. And it's been really cool for me because I get to incorporate my work people with my CrossFit people with this wonderful deserving charity. And I think one of the biggest draws for CrossFit particularly is the community aspect. And, these people become, extended members of your family. And Kristen, I've asked you many years to come and compete, and you graciously do it every year. And we've moved it from Kansas City to Denver and back and forth for quite a few years. And it's truly is not only just bringing together the community members, but for a great cause. And, it's doing a good thing for us too, because we're moving our bodies and we're, making fitness a priority as well. And I think, having other people throughout the bank see this, I can't tell you how many people from each year see the event in person and go, oh my gosh, I am going to do this next year. And they're so excited and they're so pumped up about it. And this is something they would have never done before. So it's truly great for about 10 different reasons.
I think you nailed it. The community is such a huge piece. And as we get older, it really is hard to try new things, make new friends, get out of our daily rhythm and do the same stuff. So this is such a great excuse. You don't have to worry about the pressures of performing. Like that's always kind of in the back of our minds as competitors or humans. But really, when you show up, you see like the charities and the nonprofits and the people representing these incredible causes, and it hits home different. I mean, you see it, it's right in our backyard. It's not money just going somewhere that you're disconnected from. You see it. And if you're lucky enough and you create the space to go volunteer and see what these charities have going on, you see where the money goes, it absolutely changes you. And this is a bit off topic, but I always say if you're ever in a rut or stuck in life, or you're not really sure what to do next, go volunteer. I don't care how busy you are or whatever you're doing, go see someone else's view of the world, lean in and find out how they're walking through this world and some of their challenges. And even if your world's harder than that, it's so nice to create some space, broaden your perspective, and get grounded in that, things are tough, things are going on, and you can still be part of a solution in some capacity by volunteering your time and feeling useful and feeling purposeful. So there's my take on that, because I'm so passionate about volunteering. And this is why every year you ask me, I show up as long as my body can hang in there with it.
Well, and last year, the charity that you competed for is a charity that helps blind people in the Kansas City metro area. And I can't tell you how impactful it was to see one of the members of that charity came out and compete, and he became blind as an adult. He was unfortunately was a victim of violence and was shot in both of his eyes, unfortunately. But to watch him with a guide, of course, compete in that, I mean, gives me goosebumps to talk about it right now. So it's not just Third Way. It's all these different charities, that we've competed for throughout the years. And then when we have outside teams come in that bring in their charities as well. So
it's wild. That is actually that clip of him PRing, I think, in his bench press it's on my social media somewhere. So go look on my Madonna's Hero page. Actually, might be on TNT as well, of him doing a bench press. And I promise you, again, if you're in a rut or you're not motivated or anything, you see the inspiration of these mission-driven humans showing up to compete and doing extraordinary things, living an extraordinary life, and it's right in front of you. It truthfully does change the way you walk out of the room, and it just hits a little bit different. And just holding space for people that are living in different ways that we do changes who you are, and we need more of that in our world. On the fundraising note, if anyone's been out there as a longtime volunteer and worked with tons of charities, I worked with Barbells for Boobs as their strategic partnership director way back in the day. So I got a taste of how hard it is to fundraise from the get-go. We were fortunate enough to secure some really great sponsorships and partnerships in the CrossFit space. And, to raise $500, $1,000, $5,000, it's really tough. And it's really tough right now. So when you're walking away with some of these checks, I think the last place is 5,000 and then it goes up to 22,000. Angie, am I close?
Sorry, can get off mute. Yeah, it really depends on how many teams end up signing up. But what we've really tried to ensure is that every team that participates gets something for their charity. So, you know, I think that might have been in the first couple of years where we had so many that would have been hard to do. But now we do limit the amount of teams. Not to say that we certainly would love more to sign up right now. But we do ensure that each team walks away with a check for their charity.
Yes. So I want to stress this because this is really, really huge. If you're intimidated about CrossFit or it's not your thing, what have you, if you're part of a nonprofit and you're listening to this, go check out domorecharitychallenge.com because we need teams. And within a day, I think the full event is a max 4 hours. It's up in Castle Rock. Shout out to CrossFit Crusade. You can come show up and raise a minimum of, $5,000 to $8,000. That's if you get last place. If you compete and finish at the top, it's, 15 to 20,000. So these are huge dollars for, a day's effort worth of work. And if you've been in the fundraising world like I have, that's massive. That can take months to raise $5,000 for some situations. So this is an extraordinary opportunity. The money alone should incentivize you to step out of your comfort zone, come throw on whatever athletic shoes you have and come get in the mix because it's a game-changing situation. Katie, why don't you give us because you're in it, and I know funding and how we pay for stuff is, I'm sure, a daily conversation, if not a minutely conversation, if that's a word, because the machine doesn't run without the funds. What has the money from the Do More Charity Challenge done specifically to help you guys move the wheels?
Yeah, I mean, so we are heavily dependent on our funding sources because we have our kids 24/7. So they live in our facilities, they go to school, they have their activities, some of them work, but I mean, from the pens that the staff use to the arts that they need for their classes. And I mean, all of this money raised goes towards them. So, and their daily hygiene, what they need to be able to get to and from work if they are working part-time or going to school. We have several kids that go down to see the CCD campus downtown that need bus fare. So, I mean, all of this money raised helps them and goes towards them and their well-being so that they can get the help that they need to then be able to leave us eventually and be on their own.
That's extraordinary. I think
Yeah.
one of the years I competed for Reps for Rep, working around the Rett syndrome, which is a rare disorder that affects the X chromosome. So it's specifically in females, and there's no symptoms until they're 2. So families are often caught off guard until they're a little older. But long story short, when we raised money, I think we were in the top few teams a couple years in a row, and we'd go present the check, and it was incredible. They literally told us this was about 40% of their annual income for fundraising dollars just coming from this challenge. So it was genuinely extraordinary amount of cash going towards one situation that really changed their couple years. Has the Do More Charity Challenge done that for you guys?
For sure. I mean, it has impacted our kids not only by raising money, but also we have a teacher at one of our locations that he actually is in CrossFit, and he's really
Hey.
said he won't be able to come to the challenge on the 14th, but we're going to take video of all of the athletes so he can show the kids because they participate and he's been doing CrossFit with them. And so being able to just show them that also is very rewarding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So my heart, I'm always an athlete, even when my body's, telling me to take a breather on the daily. That's always my through line. And the most important thing in my mission, I think, as a human is to continue to somehow foster some conversation around life skills through sports, because I was an okay student. We got it done. I was a D1 athlete, but sports was my through line. It's what motivated me. And I love holding that opportunity. And it could be sports, theater, chess, whatever, some sort of group activity where you're focusing towards the same mission, where you show up and you learn life skills through this sport. And it's not a teacher or your parent or someone telling you how to be a grown-up, whatever. You're just learning teamwork, responsibility, confidence, whatever it is. So it makes my heart smile that you have one of our CrossFit cult members within the houses, within the mix of the Third Way Center, because I think it's huge. And you get to see like your top influencer, your teacher, your leader, your coach doing it themselves. And I know that speaks volumes to our young humans when you're actually walking in it. You're not just saying, go do 50 push-ups, go do this. Like they're walking, alongside you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Do you guys have any sort of like specific fitness or anything curriculum that you do?
So the kids that are at our Lowry campus, that is a secure facility. So they have within their school day, they get time to go outside. They have a basketball court. They have football, soccer balls. We have rec coordinators that will also come in and do exercises with them, do outdoor activities like gardening. And so not just physical activity, but also mental, like what can help you calm down and learn how to just enjoy being outside. So those are great. And then the rec coordinators also go to all of the other houses and they'll take them camping, they'll take them hiking, they'll take them, they want them to get those experiences being outdoors because it's so important for kids because so many kids now are so plugged in and online that they also need to remember that there is a life outside. Even though CrossFit can be in gym, you can still do CrossFit anywhere. I mean, as long as you have the tools and resources and the weights you need. I mean, it can be done outside,
I
I
know that.
think.
Katie, you're already there. You're already speaking the
Yeah.
gospel. I'm sending a kettlebell to your house right now. You're already in it, dude. Let's go. Yes, and we're in Colorado. Like you need to be outside and enjoying our great weather, our mountains. I mean, there is adventure awaits literally everywhere. That just sounded like a Hallmark card, but everything there's opportunity everywhere, and it's an exciting place to be. But again, also our adults need to be out there being like, get up, get off the couch, get off your phone, let's go, and we need to model that first before we're having, our kiddos when we're sitting there doing this. And then we need to get our young humans out there. On that note, I love that, we talk about what we're doing, why we're showing up. I really, on Turmeric and Tequila, we try and unpack the human behind the mission. So I would really love for you guys to share a little bit of your personal story. Maybe, Angie, I know you're a lifelong athlete, but maybe your athletic story and why volunteering is important or anything personal at you. And Katie, same thing. Maybe why are you in this volunteer world and why is this an important piece of your heart? Whoever wants to go first.
Sure, I can start if you like. So I love that she was talking about, the mental aspect of it, because I will tell you right now, one of the primary reasons why I continue to work out at the level that I do is for my mental health. And, I have my job can be somewhat stressful some days. And, there's just days where I just need to go in and throw some weight around and get a good sweat in. And I feel so much better. And I truly do. And, with this charity specifically, I mean, I think, like you mentioned, these kids seeing their teacher, being involved in this and him involving them in it. It's not just about burning calories. It's not just about, putting points on the board. It's about feeling good about yourself. It's about being healthy. It's about being out in the world in a positive way and being a positive influence on other people. So I've been an athlete like you, Kristen, my entire life. I was a D1 athlete. I ran track at Colorado State, ran the 400, which ironically, I feel like I'm the worst runner in my CrossFit gym now since COVID. But, once the bug bites you, I mean, you really you need it to feel good, because I'll tell you, whether you have an injury or, something happens where you're out of the gym for, 5+ days, I feel that, and I really need it physically. I need it mentally. And I think this is just such a positive way to raise money and like I said, having associates at the bank watch 1 year and then absolutely super excited to participate the next year. It just keeps snowballing. And I'm so excited because historically there's not been a whole lot of CrossFitters at the bank. Right. And so to do it at the RX level, you do have to be a CrossFitter. You have to be familiar with some more technical movements. And so it was somewhat limiting for folks at the bank to participate until a few years back when we did create that more novice division, which anybody can participate. And it's been so much more impactful, I think, across our organization. And the look on folks' face, I remember specifically last year at Kansas City, folks that would never consider themselves athletes. And they all told me this. And they said, you know what? And I had one in particular, and she almost made me cry. She said, you know what? Because of you, I wanted to come out here and compete. And she said, I'm so proud of myself. I had the best time. This was amazing. I can't wait to do it again. And at the end of the day, that's really the best compliment I think we can all get with this.
Absolutely. Do you want to brag about what you benched last year at the competition?
Oh gosh. So I was actually excited because for whatever reason, I'm kind of strong on bench press, but I think I know it was a 2 rep, I think, for 170. I think I got second.
Let's go. Come on, let's go. That's great. And we're like past our 30s. So like we're on the other side. So, well, okay, let's not get crazy here. Let's reel it in. But it's huge. And honestly, even in the back of your mind, it holds some point of accountability, something to train for. So again, if you're doing one push-up or bench pressing 175 for reps, like that's what it's about. But really, it's the human that comes up and said, you inspired me to do something and make a move. Katie, you do that on the daily, like front and center. You're on the front lines of shaping our world into a better place. What made you want to do this work? Because it's not an easy situation. I don't doubt it's more than rewarding. But why is this a huge piece of your heart and your personal mission?
Well, so I was raised in a household that helped. My mom worked in the nonprofit world and in public service for my entire childhood. We volunteered, we went out into the community. And so I've always been raised in that. And so after college, I was like, what do I actually want to do with my life? And I found nonprofit world because I love helping. I love kids. And before coming to Third Way Center, I worked for a similar agency, but then I found Third Way Center and I was like, we need to help kids. That's where it starts so that they don't have to go to agencies like I was at as adults. And so it's in just being able to be here and be a part of this community, it takes a village to help others.
Yeah.
And Third Way Center is a village beyond just our employees, but our volunteer groups, our supporters, our donors. It is a community that is here to support these kids. And I absolutely love that. And I hope I can just be a role model for the kids that we see. I mean, they come into the office occasionally. I'm not there in the house with them, but I get to see them occasionally, and I love talking to them and hearing their story and their aspirations for themselves is just incredible as well.
I
Yeah.
love that. There's got to be nothing more rewarding than seeing like the flower bloom like right in front of you, and because how many years are they like technically with you guys? Does it depend?
It depends on each kid.
Yeah,
I mean, we help about 200 kids annually. So, I mean, some of those kids come to us, they're with us for a year and a half. Some of them come and they're with us for only about 6 to 7 months. It just really depends on where they're at in their process. And how we or what we need to do to then get them to be able to go out and be on their own or go back home.
I love it. On the front lines of making this world a better place. There's really nothing that's more important. Do you guys have any good like mental health care? Or Angie, I'm kind of with you right now. I'm showing up more for the mental health in my community than I am the fitness at this point with CrossFit. But do you guys have any good like mental health tips along the fitness side, since we're on community mental health and that's really what TNT is about, that you do on the regular just to keep your own mental health and yourself in check?
You're asking both of us, right?
Yeah, Angie, you can
Okay.
go first.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, this is just a huge part of it. I've got a senior in high school now, which just blows my mind. And so, I've almost got the empty nest thing going on. And so up till now, time is a precious resource. And I think sometimes folks say, I don't have time for this. I've got too much going on. I'm too tired. I'm too this. But I will tell you that putting an hour aside of your day, which is only a 1/24 of your day, if you think about it like that, it's, like I said, it's just as important for my mental health, if not more, honestly, at this point, because let's be real, there's more things that hurt in my body these days than don't. And I apologize. The clickies, these dogs are walking around my floor here. Sorry.
Hey.
But it's that mental health aspect, I think, is truly what brings me back every day. And honestly, like I said, the community at my gym, I love these human beings. I will be friends with them forever. They're good people. They show up every day. We cheer for each other. It's a healthy, competitive environment where we push each other in a positive way. But it never feels, it never has that icky feeling. You truly are so excited when the person next to you gets a PR, even if they just beat you by 50 pounds. You do not care because you're so happy for them, and you celebrate them as much as they would celebrate themselves. And so, for me, that's the biggest part for me. And obviously being outside is truly helpful. And that one of the workouts that we're doing on next Saturday will be a run outside, which would be tough. So,
We're immediately unselling Katie in this moment. It's like everything, we got so close and now we're shoving her far away with
I
this
know.
sandbag mile. But yeah, so eloquently said. I completely agree with you. Showing up, I've always said CrossFit has been such a blessing, and lacrosse, fitness in general, and athletics and sports, of bringing the right humans into my life. It's been the best filter because it's like-minded humans heading towards a goal, showing up every day to better themselves in some capacity, and have a good time doing it. It's pretty awesome. And Katie, I would say the exact same thing at any sort of mission-driven work. It's when I go to volunteer, it's people 9 times out of 10 I don't know. We should probably have very little in common, and yet we're showing up for something and for someone else, and it's this beautiful, harmonious connect. Tell me any like mental health pro tips that you can give, or perhaps the community provides you with.
Yeah, so we're very big on taking care of ourselves here at Third Way Center because the work we do is challenging and it is
Yeah.
difficult. And sometimes at the end of the day, you're going home, but you want to take care of yourself mentally. I know me and my daughter, we walk our dog every single day. We both take that break after I get her from school. We take a walk, we talk about our days, but we relax and we make sure that we're set so that in the evening time she goes and does her homework and I go and prepare for the next day. And so it's just being able to get outside to me is such a big part of my process of taking care of myself, especially now that fall is almost here.
Yeah.
And that hot weather is winding down. It just makes it even more better to be outside.
Yes, I completely agree. It's funny how you like sometimes have to do a lot of work or pay a lot of money to like learn or heal. And it's like, oh, go for a walk. Like do the simple. It's like, oh, okay. You don't have to like move mountains in a day. You can just take a breath, pet the dog, and walk out and look at the mountains. But I'm not, I've been that person that's done all the things to be like, oh, well, maybe we did know this, but we're here now. So that's okay. Well, I love all this, and I can't believe what an incredible the Do More Charity Challenge has grown into. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, "Gosh, I want to see what it's like. I want to see what it's about." At minimum, go check out the website domoreCharityChallenge.com. Go check out their socials, see who's in it. You can check out all our socials and see what kind of people we are. It's all different kinds of humans, all different levels, showing up for something bigger than themselves and being a part of something really cool. So before I ask you guys, like, how do we get involved? Tell us about Third Way or anything like that. Angie, do you want to tell us a little bit about the musical performance that's going to be happening this year? We've got Lamont Landers, and it's the day before the challenge. You can get tickets. You don't have to do both things. We obviously invite you to do both, but this is a really cool addition to the challenge. I think that started 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a nice to see people in their normal clothes and not just all fitness and chalked up. So give us the 411 on that.
Absolutely. So actually last year was our first year with the concert, when we had the competition out in Kansas City. And, it was really great to see because the day of the competition can be a little bit chaotic. You've got the athletes warming up and getting ready and they're focusing on kind of themselves and their team. And then you've got the volunteers. So really the concert is a great opportunity for everybody that's involved to come and just listen to some amazing music. I will tell you, the artist we had last year was fantastic. And it was an artist that I never would have been exposed to otherwise. And so I was so excited to go and listen to her and how amazing she was. I'm super excited to hear this artist. And it just brings a little bit different element to this. But I love that it brings everybody that's associated with the event in one room to, meet each other, shake hands in a less chaotic environment than I think the actual competition.
And we're back. Okay. Yes. So yeah, it's extraordinary that these are notable artists, and to get everyone to come together and outside of fitness and food, I think music is really the number one piece of unity. So I love that music is a part of it. If you listen to Turmeric and Tequila, I've always dreamed of building a choir. We don't want to pack that now, but it's just something in my heart. I don't sing music. I don't read music. I'd like to think I'm a rapper when my favorite songs are on, but that's far-fetched. So any piece of it. So anyways, I love that the music's in the fitness because two pieces of my world are blending together, which is a wonderful thing. And again, seemingly opposing things can harmoniously coexist. It's real. We can find that in between that ampersand in all things in life. So it's a really nice addition to the situation. So if we haven't told you yet, go sign up, go check out the website, get in the mix. Katie, why don't you tell us if somebody wants to get involved with Third Way, give us links, any sort of handles, anything you want to share so we can know what's going on, or if we want to get involved, we can do so.
Yeah, for sure. So we have both a Facebook and an Instagram. It's at Third Way Center. We also have our website, so thirdwaycenter.org. You can go there to fill out a volunteer form if you're a company or you as an individual. We have opportunities for individuals to also volunteer with some events that we do throughout the year. One of them coming up is our gala. It's True Grit. It's actually next month, and we would love to have some volunteers come and help us set up. And if you volunteer, you can go to the event for free,
Cool.
which is a great aspect of the event. And then also our houses, we rely heavily on our volunteer groups that come in throughout the year. We use them for painting. We use them for yard maintenance. We have a group actually coming out. The bank is coming on the 16th after the charity challenge to volunteer for a day at one of our locations and help clean up the back and front yards before winter hits. And so it's a great time. And it's a way to see our houses kind of in action. We try to have the kids around, but also if if they have to focus, we try and make it so that we accommodate their schedule as well. So, but yeah.
Amazing. And really quick, if someone, a parent or a friend or an adult mentor was like, I might know a kid would be fitting for, what's the process like that to submit a name or connect a kid that this might be a fitting situation?
Yeah, so on our website, you will find the admissions forms. It will connect you with our admissions intake team, and they will start you on that process of getting evaluated to start treatment with us.
I love it. I think one of the biggest things that I work on, especially with the podcast, but things in Colorado, we get kind of siloed into different groups, whether it's volunteering or music or sports. So please spread the good word. If you're hearing this and it seems like a fit, or you know someone that might want to be a volunteer, this might fit a kiddo, or what have you, please share the good word. This is word of mouth. It's original influencer marketing. Don't sleep on it. It's a big deal. So share the gospel. Angie, we got to give a special shout out to Community Banks of Colorado for starting this. Tim Laney, let's go. Whitney Bartelli, even back in the day, and Skip Miller, all the originals kicking this off. But do you want to give us any good words about Community Banks of Colorado, how we find you guys? I know you're NBH, but give us good words on any of the above.
Absolutely. So we have a few affiliates here in our region. We have Community Banks of Colorado, we have Bank of Jackson Hole, we have Hillcrest, and we have Bank Midwest. And you can reach any of those through those websites. And we have alternated the different brands that host the event every year. So far it's just been between Bank Midwest and Community Banks Colorado. I think we are going to be expanding into Hillcrest, so that could be a competition in Utah, could be in Texas, could be in New Mexico even. So I think we're going to explore those opportunities. But yeah, the best way to get in touch with the bank is on our website, and we're certainly really trying to make a good impact in our communities. And when Tim Laney organized this and founded this event 9 years ago, I mean, to say that we've raised $1.7 million in that time frame is tremendous. And like you mentioned, especially in these economic times and when everybody's asking for help everywhere, it's hard to get people to commit. And this is such a good way to truly give these charities some really much needed funds. Like you mentioned, sometimes that's a bulk of their funding for the year. So we highly encourage anyone and everyone to please come out. If you need help putting a team together, please reach out to any of us, and we can still try to do that because we still have another week to go before our competition. The more the merrier, and we would love to see a full house out there at CrossFit Crusade in Castle Rock next week.
Let's go. Do you want to give a little love to CrossFit Tapo?
Oh, this my beautiful gym. No, so this is a gym that has welcomed me. I've been there for, I think 3 years now, out in the Southlands area here in Colorado. And again, just a tremendous group of people and wonderful humans that not only do there's a saying where you bond through suffering. And I'm certainly not trying to make you not want to do CrossFit, but when the middle of your workout, there's been certainly many times where I say to myself, why on earth do I do this? And not only that, I pay for this. But there has never been a workout where I'm done that I regret that I did. And doing it with people that you truly love being around makes it so much easier to get your butt off the couch, in the car, and drive to the gym every day.
Amen. There you go. It's all about the community. Yes, I think it's really important to shout out Bladium CrossFit, all the gyms that are involved, all the volunteers, Jody, who's on here hypothetically, shout out. She's doing all the marketing behind it. So there's so many things and so many moving parts and so many people involved in making this machine move. It's really extraordinary to know that it's literally all volunteers that are making it move, and every single dollar goes back to the charity. So please be inspired to, I want to say, pick up the phone, call us. We're not live yet, but one day, get on the internet, go check out what's going on the website, and then sign up, and hopefully we will see you there. Ladies, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to kick things off very soon here, concert and fitness. And Katie, we will get you out there one day. You can bring the dogs, and we'll figure it out.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you so much for having us, Kristen. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you.
It was great.
Quick thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Lux Neuro, Neurofeedback and Counseling. Lux Neuro wants to meet you. If you are ready to transform your life, visit them at luxneuro.com and schedule a consultation. A special thank you to Declan James Watches. They are veteran owned, and a percentage of every sale kicks back to the Navy SEAL Foundation. So go check out what they have going on. These are incredible humans doing incredible things. It's an incredible event coming up very soon. So go check it out. We'll see you there. Thank you all so much.